Hello students, now today we are going to start the next chapter 10, Gravitation of class 9. Okay, so before starting the chapter, we are just going through the introduction that Newton was a scientist who was sitting below a tree, and when the apple were falling from the tree downside towards the earth, then he thought that why the apples and all the objects are moving towards the earth. After that, he concluded that there is a natural force, that is gravitation force, which is attracting all the objects towards itself. And he also concluded that there is an attraction force between all the objects. He explained the various phenomena of the attraction related to the gravitation. Even the motion of moon around the earth is also due to the centripetal force. Okay, so what is the centripetal force? So whenever the moon is revolving around the earth, then in that case the force of attraction provided by the earth, it is also providing a centripetal force. Since you must know, students, that here the moon is attracted by the earth by some gravitational force. Okay, similarly at the same time, whenever any object moves on the circular path, then towards the center one more force is there, that is centripetal force. Okay, and whenever any object is moving, an outward force is also there, that is called centrifugal force. So these all forces are balanced with each other, as a result of which the moon revolves around the earth in a circular path. So the gravitation force is responsible for providing the centripetal force. There are certain examples of the gravitational. One more thing is there, that since it was thought that even when the apple fall from the tree, then why the apple is moving towards the earth, why the earth is not moving towards the apple. So there was a reason that was explained by the second law of motion given by Newton, that is the force is inversely proportional to the means we can say acceleration is inversely proportional to the mass of object, because F is equals to mass into acceleration. So F upon m is equals to A, or we can write A is equals to F upon m. So acceleration is inversely proportional to mass. So objects having larger masses will accelerate very slowly. That's why the earth is not moving or accelerating towards the apple with a very high speed, because the mass of apple is very low as compared to the mass of earth, so it will accelerate at a very faster speed. That's why, explaining all these examples, Newton concluded that all the objects in the universe attract each other. So that's why there is a force of attraction present between all the objects in the all the objects present in the universe, and this force is called gravitational force. Students, you have to remember that gravitational force is the weakest force in the universe. Okay, one question is why, since all the objects are having attraction forces, but why they are not going to stick with each other? Because this force of attraction is very weak and very lesser, so that it is not able to attract the object. Since here also the gravitational force is not even sufficient to make the moon to revolve on the circular path, but due to gravitational force one more force is there, that is centripetal force, which is acting inwards. So both the forces are balanced by the centrifugal force acting in outward direction, and due to this the moon revolves around the earth. Now next is the universal law of gravitation. Next one is the universal law of gravitation. Newton gave the universal law of gravitation, since it is called as universal law because it is accepted everywhere. Okay, it is universally accepted. According to Newton, if two objects are there and suppose the mass of first object is capital M1 or M1 and the mass of second object is M2. So if two objects are there and both the objects are separated by distance r from their center, suppose this is the center, so the distance from their center is r, both are separated by r distance, then according to Newton, the force of attraction, the gravitational force of attraction between both the objects is directly proportional to their product of masses, as well as the force of attraction is inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. That means if the distance between both the objects will increase, then the force of attraction will decrease. So we have got two equations in this way. Since if we combine both the equation, then on combining equation 1 and 2, we will get F is proportional to M1 M2 upon R square. If we are going to remove the sign of proportionality, then there is a constant quantity, means we are converting it into equal sign. Then there is a constant quantity which is here we are using the G, that is used by the Newton, G M1 M2 upon R square. This is a widely used formula that we have to remember, Newton. Here the G is known as the universal gravitational constant. It is called the universal gravitational constant. What do we call it? Again I am telling you, it is called as universal gravitational constant. Okay, why it is called universal gravitational constant? Because it is its value is taken equal anywhere or widely accepted universally. So this is called universal gravitational constant. Now students, since force of gravitation F is equals to G M1 M2 upon R square, from here we can calculate the value of gravitational constant or universal gravitational constant capital G will be equal to capital F R square M1 M2. So its unit will be F Newton, distance meter square per kg square. This is the unit of the universal gravitational constant. Now there was a scientist named Henry Cavendish. He used a sensitive balance to measure the value of universal gravitational constant, and he calculated the value of universal gravitational constant as 6.673, means the value of G will be 6.673 into 10 to the power 11 Newton meter square per kg square. So student, this is all about the Newton's law of gravitation. I hope you understood.